Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that, guys. Let us not forget that. We are all blessed to be on here on this planet, spinning on this crazy blue marble that we call Earth. No matter how crazy our days are, no matter how much drama is going on in our lives or in these internet streets that you may or may not be involved in, life is still just a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. I just want you to know. All right. Now, here's the thing. We have got to talk about this. I wanted to talk to you guys about this yesterday, but I got tired and I fell asleep. Yeah. So today we are talking about this because there needs to be some more awareness revolving around this missing woman, this missing college student, Sudiksha Konanki. Sorry, it's. I'm still getting used to saying her name, with all due respect, and I don't want to mess up her name. Okay, so Sudiksha Konanki. Okay, she is missing right now in the Dominican Republic. And this reminds me of a lot of different cases that we've covered in the past. All right, so we have got to talk about this and bring some awareness to this case and this situation. And there's been new updates. There's new information that just recently emerged, just overnight, which is also very interesting and makes me side-eye certain things a lot. Okay, so do me a favor, hit that like button down below, hit that reaction button if you're watching this show. All right, on other platforms, if you are watching all those other platforms, like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, please be sure to hit that reaction button. Of course, hit that follow button over there. Follow me on those platforms. Go over to my secondary channel, okay? Subscribe on my YouTube channel. Go over there to the secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe here, of course. Make sure you have both notification bells on so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because I'm talking about a lot of different things. So over there, I'm talking about pop culture-ish type stuff, you know, with the Blake Lively stuff. And then we're over here talking about the crazy true crime stuff that we're talking about right now, okay? The unfortunate situations that we have been covering over here. So make sure you are subscribed and notification bells are both on both channels, okay? Hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, check out my locals, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, PascalMerch.com. Go check it out. Okay, guys, we got to get into this, okay? Because, of course, this is not going to be a super, super long show, all right? And there's only so much that we can squeeze into this very not as usual long show, all right? I will say that. This is going to be within an hour, just so you guys know, all right? Well, we've got to talk about this situation on this missing woman, this University of Pittsburgh student by the name of Sudiksha Konanki. She went out to the DR, to Dominican Republic, for spring break to go kick it with her friends, blow off some steam, have a great time, living her life like it's golden, only for it to have a sudden, crazy, and wild left turn. This young woman, 20-year-old Sudiksha Konanki, is still missing, or she is missing. And there have been speculations and theories galore. Everything from her possibly being taken, to her being unalived, to her possibly missing in the ocean, if you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of things I can't say that I have to use code words for, okay? That she may have succumbed to ocean water and never came back up from swimming in the ocean on one unbelievable morning. Okay, and I guess for her, it would have been like a late night, a very, very late night. All right. So, of course, There have been places, people, NewsNation, etc., Court TV, Law and Crime. There's been a lot of coverage and talk about this, and I apologize for being late on the story. I've been watching it. Trust me, I've been watching it. But there's just been, every time I want to get to this story, something is breaking, like a oil tanker crashing into a cargo ship. You know what I mean? Stuff like that has been happening quite a bit. So we're here to talk about it nonetheless. Better late than never, right? So we have an American college student, all right? Sudiksha Konanki, okay, is her name. She's 20 years old. She disappeared in the Dominican Republic. And like I said, there is some new information that has come out, because I know some of y'all have been like, wait, what's going on here? Who was she kicking it with? Was she by herself? Was there an eyewitness? Was there anything of that sort? And I'm telling you right now, as soon as we get to that information, you're going to be side-eyeing that mother lover like a mother lover. Okay. I had to get that out of my system. I'm sorry, because I'm side on that mother lover. Okay, but that's just me. That's just me. All right, that's just me. Again, innocent until proven guilty in a court of, in a court of law. I'll just say that. All right, but we're going to talk about that. The developing information, this new information that just recently dropped, and now everybody and their mama who at least is savvy or is hip to this situation, now they're all side-eyeing, just like me. It's a hard side-eye. Horde side-eye. This is not just a, maybe. Nope, this is a hard side-eye for me, at least. And I could be wrong. Like I said, innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This person could very well be innocent. I'm still side-eyeing it for real. Okay, I think different, but that's just me. So let's get into this timeline, shall we? Because I know a lot of people are wanting to know what's going on here, and so do I. Okay, I think I truly, I don't want to put it out there like that, but I do think that there could very well be foul play here, but I could be wrong. It just doesn't make any sense that this young, impressionable student, college student, goes out there for spring break, is having a great time, and then all of a sudden she's walking on the beach and she just disappears, vanishes like just, you know what I mean? Just becomes mystified. It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. And the fact that there has been no remains, nothing that has turned up at all, nothing has washed up to shore, that doesn't make any sense to me either as well. But like I said, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to get into this conversation, but I think foul play. I truly feel that. But like I said, it's unfair for me to sit there and say that without having all the evidence strewn out in front of us, right? She could very well have been taken. She could have very well been, she could have very well have drowned. She could have, and she could have had her life taken by some monster. We're going to sit back and we're going to wait and see what law enforcement does, if they actually do their job correctly. We'll see what happens here. All right. Because this screams other cases, and the names are escaping me right now, but the one that we talked about, I'm forgetting the location. Oh my Lord. She was out there for a yoga retreat. She allegedly, last time they saw her was out on the beach, and then suddenly out of nowhere she just disappeared. And no, I'm not talking about Natalie Holloway. I'm talking about another person. I just don't remember who it is. Nope, not talking about Natalie. But yes, everyone's referencing Natalie, but I'm not talking about Natalie. There's another one though. Natalie's in there too, with all due respect, Natalie too, but there's another one. She went to a yoga retreat. She went out there. I think it is Taylor Casey. She went out there. She was there for a yoga retreat. The yoga facility has been very sus, even still to this day, about her disappearance. Okay. But she was out there. Allegedly, some guy came out. She was last seen talking to a person, right? Having a conversation with a dude on the beach. And then suddenly she's gone. and no one knows where she is. Shanquella is a different story, S-dubs. That's a different turnout. I mean, obviously her body was found inside that home and all that. Okay. But no, I'm talking about the one where the girl was there for a yoga retreat and she was never heard or seen from ever again, which is also very interesting. But yes, everyone says Natalie Holloway. And yes, I know that one too. But like I said, I was like, this actually screams this other one though too. This says Taylor Casey all over it as well. But let's move on. Okay, let's get into this situation. Again, I hope I'm wrong that there is no foul play. I hope she's found. I hope that she just said, hey, I'm taking a walk and I want to see what it's like, in Dominican Republic. I don't know. Wilder things have happened, guys. Wilder things have happened. All right. But let's get into this. So this disappearance of an American college student in the Dominican Republic has captured national and international attention. Sudiksha Konanki, hold on, where's my mouse? A 20-year-old University of Pittsburgh student from Loudoun County, Virginia, was last seen walking on a beach outside the 5-star RIU Republica Resort in the early morning hours of March 6th. So 5 days ago, okay? She has yet to be located. So this is a little bit of a timeline so we can know what's going on as far as her disappearance, because I know not everybody's super savvy with this situation. Not everybody knows what happened here, right? But real quick, you UPSer, thank you so much for the love, and thank you so much for being a member. For the last, that's a long time. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support, okay? Good afternoon, fam. The whole thing reminds me of Natalie Holloway. The Natalie Holloway case like 20 years ago. Yeah, the part that we are going to talk about, which is the reason why I'm side-eyeing this situation like a mother lover, is that screams Natalie Holloway. Natalie Holloway, like crazy. So that part is true. But we still do not know if this particular person has anything to do with this or not. We're going to find out, though, too. Okay, but it does remind me not only just of Natalie Holloway, but of course, Taylor Casey. And Taylor Casey still has not been found. Last I checked, she has still not been found. She is still missing in the Bahamas, allegedly. And there was theory that she may have gone out into the water, wanted to go get a swim, and then the waves crashed over her and she was never seen or heard from ever again. But again, this is weird. So let's go into this timeline. March 5th, Konanki was in the Dominican Republic, staying at the 5-star RIU Republica Resort with a group of 6 female Pitt students. Okay, University of Pittsburgh students. Okay, this is what her county sheriff's office, the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, said to the Fox, which is who we're reading this article from. And here is Sudiksha, okay, or Sudiksha, sorry, Sudiksha. I keep on saying Sudiksha, Sudiksha. All right, sorry guys, it's I'm trying to pronounce it properly, okay, with all due respect. But this is who she is. This is what she looks like. Beautiful young woman, okay, beautiful young woman. All right, just down there, just trying to have a good time, okay. Konanki was seen walking on the beach with 6 other people that evening prior to her disappearance, 3 Dominican officials told ABC News. Most of the people in the group returned to the hotel that night, but one person stayed behind with Konanki. Get ready for the crazy bullish that comes out this person's mouth in a little bit. Just get ready for it. Brace for it, because here comes the boom here in a second. All right. Stay behind with Konanki on the beach into the early morning hours of March 6th, ABC News reported, citing an investigative police report. So, of course, they are out there searching, trying to find this young woman because she is nowhere to be found thus far, or at least as the recording of this live of this show, okay? March 6th, Konanki was seen for the last time after 4 a.m. walking on the beach outside the RIU Republica Resort, according to a flyer being circulated online. La Policía Nacional, the country's national police force, hopefully I said that right, okay? Shout out to my Spanish speaking friends out there. Anyway, and said a male friend who was with Konanki around the time of her disappearance was under investigation. It is unclear who the quote unquote young man is, but police said he was in the water at the same beach, and they are questioning him for in an attempt to corroborate his version of events, according to a translation of a Spanish language statement. A local outlet reported that a man who was also a guest at the same resort was the last person seen with Konanki, and reportedly told police several different versions of what happened. First off, I want to say that's a dead ass giveaway. That's a dead ass giveaway. That's a dead ass giveaway. Okay. Moving on. Timeline. The man reportedly said he entered the water with Konanki, but the rough surf made him sick. So he went back to shore, leaving Konanki in the water. Another version of the story, he said he felt sick and left Konanki in knee-deep water before he passed out on the beach. The man additionally claimed he saw Konanki walking on the beach before he fell asleep on the beach, according to reporting from local news. The reason why I'm giving you guys the hard look is fill in the blanks. So this mother lover says, "Oh, I was swimming in the water. She was in the water too. And then, man, I felt like a little rumbling in my tummy. So I went out into the shore, onto the beach, and passed out because I just wasn't feeling so good. So I went out into the beach and passed out. But I saw her, and she was in knee-deep water. She was nowhere near deep water at all. And then I saw her walk down the beach. But I passed out on the beach by myself, just chilled, fell asleep on the beach because I wasn't feeling so good because of the rumbling in me tummy." Okay. March 8th, the Embassy of India in the Dominican Republic said it was working with the State Department and law enforcement on the ground, according to a Loudoun County Sheriff's Office spokesperson. There she is again. Just there to have a good time. You know what I mean? Our sheriff's office is supporting these efforts and continuing to investigate locally. This is what a spokesperson told Fox News Digital. So moving on, a Dominican Republic search and rescue force completed a full-day search with operations scheduled to resume on Sunday. The Orange Search and Rescue Unit, along with other institutions, worked from early Saturday hours trying to find the whereabouts of the young woman, Sudiksha Konanki, without success, of course, because she is still missing as we speak. Okay? RIU Hotels said in a statement, one of its guests has not been seen since the early hours of March 6th. From the moment of her absence was reported, we've been working closely with local authorities, including the police and the Navy, to conduct a thorough search. This is what they said in the statement. Continuing, we would like to express our deepest sympathy to the family and friends during this incredibly difficult time. The safety and well-being of our guests are our highest priority, and we are fully committed to doing everything in our power to assist in this situation. The hotel added that its team is, quote unquote, providing full support to the authorities in the search, and an emergency protocol has been activated, to ensure that all necessary measures are taken. Now, here's the thing. This is where I go. This reminds me a little bit about Taylor, why am I forgetting her last name again? Taylor Casey. Okay. This This says a little bit like it does a little bit. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that they're out here trying to, like the resort is trying to cover things up so that they can continue bringing guests and all that stuff to the resort. I have yet to see any type of vibe so far. But one thing that is weird to me, though, is that this whole thing happened within this resort. And you'd think, which we're going to be seeing here in just a little while, you'd think that there'd be more information through surveillance videos, cameras, whatnot, especially when you go and you're on the beach. And I'm assuming, and just me assuming, I'm assuming they're on the beach that is owned by the actual resort. Like it's right behind the resort. You turn around, like you see that you're standing on the beach, you're looking at the ocean, you turn right around, and right behind you is the actual resort. So in a way, it does make you wonder, why haven't we seen surveillance camera footage of the actual, of the ocean, of the beach? Because a lot of that will be that'll be very telling. If you have cameras in the beach, then you could tell, you could see. She goes out into the water and she's never seen or heard from again. This guy who says he was there just swimming in the water until his little tummy started feeling bad and he went and passed out on the beach, he could be exonerated for those things. You see what I'm saying? Or we can actually see the actual crime taking place. One thing that's weird to me is this whole thing could be solved if there actually is surveillance camera footage of the actual beach. Then we wouldn't all be up in arms going, what actually happened here? You'd think at this point, a resort that I'm sure makes millions and millions of dollars. It's the Dominican Republic. We ain't talking about Haiti, which is sad. I know it's really sad, but real talk, because, be nice to see Haiti make some money too. But here it is, though. People go to the Dominican all the time. That resort is a 5-star, not a 1-star, but a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star hotel. You'd think that they would have the equipment just in case bad things happen, right? So why don't we see any footage from the beach? They got everything leading up to the beach, which we're going to see here in a second or in a little bit. We see all that leading up to the beach. But what about the mother-loving beach footage? We talking about the beach. Where's the beach footage? I'm just saying, this seems a little bit weird, don't you think? Now, I'm not sitting here saying, the heads of the 5-star hotel resort are just sinister and they just leave that open for everyone to just get murked. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm trying to say is crimes can happen out in the beach. It doesn't matter how beautiful and celestial and relaxing it is. Crimes can still happen right outside of the resort, right on that beach. So I feel like it would be pertinent to have security camera footage out there. Crimes still happen. God forbid if she was viciously attacked, SA'd, and then something bad happens and she loses her life and then she gets discarded in the ocean. So something ain't right here, y'all. Something ain't right. But let's continue on. Again, resorts. If you're listening, security cameras on your beaches, for crying out loud. Where's the mother-loving cameras on the beach? March 9th, okay, they resumed its search for Konanki at 6 a.m. That was on Sunday. Now we're on Tuesday, though, okay? So again, still the information, they're still in the information gathering stage. And this is, by the way, that's the 10th. She went missing when? Hold on, I'm sorry. She went missing when? Yeah, this is just for dramatic effects, but I'm just saying March 6th. So 4 days and they're still trying to gather information That was yesterday. That was 4 days. Now we're on the 5th day of trying to figure this whole thing out. And people are still trying to understand what the hell's going on. Yet there was a guy there who is not telling the story. He's telling different versions of his story, which makes no sense, right? Now, I want you to know they do have surveillance footage walking to the beach. But from my understanding, there is no footage of at the beach. Okay? Which we are going to see. We are going to see that here in a second. But in the meantime, I do want to pull up a few videos because, again, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't, guys. It just doesn't. Something is really weird. Something weird is going on. Just doesn't make any sense. Oops. We got a few things, but hold on.
Missing University. Our top story tonight, family and friends desperate to find this missing University of Pittsburgh student. She vanished while on spring break in the Dominican Republic. We are tracking this search. We know the 20-year-old was last seen walking on the beach at a resort on Thursday, and overnight, a Dominican Republic search and rescue team began their search. So far, no signs of her. NewsNation's Nick Smith is tracking the details. Nick, what are we hearing?
We're hearing that investigators are asking anyone with information about her last whereabouts to let them know immediately. University of Pittsburgh student Sudiksha Konanki was last seen Thursday near a resort just before 5 a.m. Now, several agencies taking part in an all-out search for the missing woman, including the Dominican Civil Defense, local firefighters, and the Dominican Navy. Those directly involved in the search are urging anyone with information about her to contact authorities immediately. We do know that she is 5'3" tall and was last seen wearing her brown swimsuit with large round earrings, a metal designer anklet on her right leg, and a couple of bracelets. The Defensa Civil, a Dominican Republic search and rescue team, have been working since early Saturday to find her. It's unclear what led up to her disappearance, but because she is also a citizen of India, the Embassy of India in the Dominican Republic has taken the lead, and they are working with the State Department. But on the issue of safety concerns in this country, the U.S. State Department has a level 2 travel advisory for the Dominican Republic. In a statement, which reads in part, the State Department says violent crime, including armed robbery, homicide, and sexual assault, is a concern throughout the Dominican Republic. It isn't immediately clear if those who had been traveling with the 20-year-old have returned from the trip or where they were last seen when she was spotted. A spokesperson for the University of Pittsburgh told local media that university officials are in contact with her family. Natasha, the university and state officials offering their full support to find her and bring her home safely.
Yes.
Now, again, this is the worst thing, by the way. Okay? This is the worst thing to see if you are a college student about to go overseas, go out of the country to enjoy a spring break or anything of that sort. This is the worst thing. This is the worst timing. How interesting this whole thing's happening right now when kids are out there getting ready for spring break or are on the way to go and do spring break. But this also should tell you, this should also remind you, and even so, this is before we even go on vacations as well. Let's not forget that, because we all still vacay, okay? We all go on holiday, as some of you guys would say, right? So this should be a huge wake-up call for all of us. Make sure you have somebody who is like make sure you have a responsible person in your group. Maybe you have somebody who's local that is there to take care of you guys, to watch over you guys, especially if you're leaving the resorts or you're leaving, going off the grounds into like the towns that you are actually staying in for a vacation, because you got to remember the resorts are really safe, right? For the most part, it's going out outside of the resorts that can be really, really dangerous. That's where you can get taken. That's where you can get robbed. That's where you can get attacked and all that stuff. This situation is a little bit different because this happened on the resort or in the resort, which is absolutely crazy. But again, this is crazy. And this is a terrible thing to have happen, especially when we have our loved ones, flying and vacationing in certain areas around this time. Your college students, your kids who are college students and all that, and they're going on spring break, please make sure that they have some sort of buddy system going on, because that's the thing here too. She was there by herself, allegedly, by herself, with another person in the ocean who is saying he was in the ocean. He had nothing to do with her, right? He just saw her in the ocean. Then he went and laid down to sleep, then woke up and she was gone. She was by herself. It's a mix of it's a mix of Riley Strain. It's a mix of that. It's a mix of Taylor Casey. It's a mix of potentially Natalie Holloway, where it's just like she just wanted to enjoy, I just wanted to enjoy the ocean, enjoy the beach, and just be by myself. Maybe that's what it was. Let's just play that out for a second. Maybe she was just out there by herself chilling. She just wanted some solitude, a moment to be with the ocean, the sounds, the calm, whatever. Had some time to think about these things, right? Think, meditate, whatever. But no, I don't think that was the case. I truly think that this is going to sound crazy, but here's my theory, and it may be wrong. I think I think the guy was trying to throw some game at her. Maybe he was successful to a certain extent because she was with a bunch of other friends and they left her behind with that guy. Do you really think that I truly don't think, especially in this day and age, especially when it comes to women, okay? A lot of times women are not going to do that. Let their friend hang out with a guy that they don't know. Think about it. They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, unless the girl's like, no, I'm good. Go. Right? And then it's like, oh, okay. All right. Have fun, you too. And then they leave. But a lot of times they're not going to sit there and, unless she gave them the nod, like, hey, it's okay. We're good. I'll see you tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's possible. That's possible. But I really don't think that if she said, yeah, I just want to walk on the beach by myself, you really think the girls are going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, go ahead, girl. Enjoy yourself. See you. Bye. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, you sure? No, let me walk with you. Yeah, we're going to walk with her for a little bit. We good. We're going to keep on walking with you. They're not going to be like, all right, yeah, I'm tired. I got to go get a slice of pizza and pass out. Bye. No, they're not going to do that. They're not. I think what happened is he was throwing some game. It may have worked. It must have worked. She gave the friends the nod, like, hey, I'm good. I'll see you tomorrow. And then they left, and she was there with this guy by herself. That's what I truly believe. And then something happened. I really don't think that this guy was just out there in the ocean by himself, just completely disconnected from this woman. Okay? I don't see it. I just don't. And I truly don't think that her girlfriends would leave her behind like that, not in a foreign land by herself. There is a code. There is an understanding. Unless they literally just left her by herself, which would be diabolical as all get out. It's kind of like the whole situation with Riley Strain. He left and was left by himself in Nashville, walking blitzed out of his mind throughout the streets of Nashville, only to allegedly fall into a river. So again, it's possible that the girls let her by her lonesome and she just wanted to be by herself. And they said, it's fine, see you later. I don't know. But then there's another part of me that thinks that maybe there was a connection going on between her and this guy. And they let her be because they thought maybe, you know what I mean? That he might be a good person. And it may not be that case right now. So this is a huge wake-up call to everybody. Have your stuff together. Have a system. Have a breakdown. Even the fellas, man, I'm going to say it. Fellas, dag nabbit. I don't care if you're out there and you're hunting and gathering by your, and it's all about you. Trust me, that's how it is. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry to talk to the guys like this, but let me tell you. When it comes to fellas, this is going to sound messed up. Now, I'm not going to say it like that. Okay? But it's every man for himself. Long story short. So when you're at the club, you're at the bars, you're doing whatever, bop, 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 okay? The guys aren't concerned about other guys like that. It's for every man for himself. You get a number or you get a little something more. You're not concerned about your boy. It's just like, yeah, man, I got to go do, I got to go bust a move. You're not going to see many guys going, oh my God, why did you leave me here? No, they're like, all right, man, shoot, have fun, bro. And then they're by themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's just how guys work. I'm sorry, but it is. But all I'm saying is if you're on break, on a spring break, fellas, have a plan as well. Because guys are getting targeted as well. Real talk. You might meet a nice little girl, nice little female at the club. Then she lures you outside of the club and then you get jumped. I'm being real. Or something worse happens. You get unalived because they pulled you away from your boy. So I'm just saying, be smart with this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter. Crime doesn't care about the color of your skin or your gender. Okay? Have a system in play so things don't happen. So things don't happen to yourself and things don't happen to your friends. That's it, because you don't want to be regretting it. Real talk. But I think in this situation, she gave her friend the nod, like, hey, no, he's cute. We good. And the girls trusted that and left. And then clearly something bad happened because she's nowhere to be found, guys. And I think this guy has something to do with it. But again, I could be absolutely wrong. Knee-jerk reaction, knee-jerk thought. Let's continue.
Certainly. We appreciate you tracking those details. Nick Smith with us tonight. Thank you. And joining us now with more is Sheriff Mike Chapman of Loudoun County, Virginia, where this missing 20-year-old Pittsburgh University student is from. Sheriff, thank you for taking the time tonight. What do we know so far about this search?
Natasha, good to be with you. We're doing everything in our power. I mean, we take this incident very, very seriously, especially considering she's a resident of Loudoun County. We're working very hard with the authorities down there in Dominican Republic, whether it's their national police, their Coast Guard, their domestic police. I know they've done everything so far in their power to locate her, helicopters, drones, boats. But we're also working with certainly the embassy in India. We're working with our U.S. embassy down there, and to include several federal counterparts, which would be the DEA, HSI, FBI, and the University of Pittsburgh as well. So we're leaving no stone unturned on this. We're doing everything that we can to try to get to the bottom of this and help out the family here. We have reached out to the mom and dad. Unfortunately, haven't been able to get through just yet. I believe they're on travel right now, getting down there and probably getting briefed up on this. But we are very, very concerned about this, and it means a lot to try to do everything we can to find out what is going on down there.
Yeah, so you believe that her family is actually en route. They're traveling to the Dominican Republic to get on the ground there.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Mm-hmm.
What is your biggest concern right now?
Well, my biggest concern is that we just don't know. I mean, anything's a possibility right now. We hope there's no foul play. We hope there's nothing of any major concern. We're hoping and praying that she gets returned, that she returns safely. We just don't know. But I can tell you that we're working with the authorities down there to interview everybody that certainly that she was down there with. I mean, she traveled down there from the University of Pittsburgh with 5 other friends. We do know that she went to the beach with several people. That's the last sighting that we had of her early in the morning on the 6th, which was Thursday morning. We're doing everything that we can to try to, figure out what we can from the interviews that are being done down there, from any phone communications that would have been done, by any text messages that would have been done. So it's going to take a little while for that, but we are working very closely with everybody that I mentioned involved. Get to the bottom of this.
Do you know if the other students who went on the spring break a trip with her have already returned to the U.S.?
I believe they're coming back tomorrow. I think there's several that have stayed behind to be interviewed by Dominican authorities down there. And again, working with our federal counterparts as well. We're trying to do everything we can here and doing whatever research that we can as well up here in Loudoun County. So I think they're coming back tomorrow. That's my understanding, but I think they were held down there because of the ongoing investigation.
Sure.
I'm going to say this. They should keep them there. I know this is, I think this is like a day or two old, this video, but I truly believe that they should have kept them there. They should stay. They're the last people to see, they're the last persons to see their friend alive and breathing. They should not be sent back to University of Pittsburgh. Not at all. They should have stayed. Okay, they should have found them some sort of hotel for them, so some sort of hotel room to stay in for an extra couple days while this investigation is still going on, because you never know. You just never know, guys. I'm sorry. Sinister things have happened where, it's a hookup through a friend and all. I'm just throwing out all the possibilities. I'm not sitting here saying that they all did the worst, they all are diabolical and they're all doing some sinister thing and this is some sort of sacrifice or something like that. No, I'm not. But at the same time, they could tell you at face value some sort of story that they concocted together as a group. But then if they stayed longer, maybe somebody would literally say, okay, here's the truth of what really happened. You really want to know what happened? Here it is. I can't hold this in anymore. Here's the truth. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's kind of ridiculous that they let them go. But, that's just my personal opinion. Let the law enforce however they want to law enforce. You feel me?
And this beach belonged to the resort. To your knowledge, was there any sort of surveillance video of this beach?
I believe there is some video there that we're working off of, and we're hoping to get as much information from that as we can, and to try to pinpoint the exact times that she was last seen, and try to figure out where we can go from there.
Are there any leads at this time that you can share with us?
It's an ongoing investigation. I think there are leads in the works here, but we are working very, very hard with everybody involved. It'd be premature for me to say anything more than that just yet, because we have so many people that are engaged in this investigation, and I don't want to misspeak because of that. And I want to make sure that whatever information that we get and that we put out is accurate.
I hear that.
Okay, and I get that piece. I mean, there's a lot of other. I mean, they got certain groups that are doing this. You got local PD, you got I think it's the Indian embassy that's down there conducting their own investigation as well. I mean, there's a lot that's going on, and so I get not wanting to say something that then they suddenly go, wait, why did you say that, man? Well, you're not supposed to say that, and they're going to say it just like that too. But why did you say it like that? You know what I mean? Of course, you don't want that to happen, right? That's the last thing you want to have happen, is misspeak or say something that's a big piece of information.
Our top story tonight.
Sorry about that. Or, it's a big piece of information only to find out that they didn't want that information out at all, right? So I truly understand that piece. But there are a few other things that I want to share with y'all. Hold on. Before we go into Banfield, we got to take a look at this and talk about this, okay? Yeah, hold on. Yeah, some more and more information just keeps on coming. Hold on. Wow. Okay, hold on. Sorry, something else just dropped. Literally just dropped. And now I'm curious about this as well. Boy. So many questions, and a lot of it's not making any earthly sense. Okay, two different things. So we have some surveillance footage. Okay, allegedly some surveillance footage that shows missing college student Sudiksha Konanki walking the beach with mystery man. Okay. And that's the other question too. I'd like to know that too. Where is that question? Where did it go? Proud fur mom. Okay. Yes, I think that's a good question to ask. Who reported her missing in the first place? That's something I don't know. Okay. That's something I do not know, but that's a darn good question to ask. But let's take a look at this. All right. So we already know that she's been missing. Okay. But she was last seen in haunting surveillance footage walking to the Dominican Republic beach, where she was last seen alive. The video shows Konanki striding towards the beach in Punta Cana with Joshua Stephen Ribe, who is believed to be the last man to see her alive. It was taken in the early hours of March 6th. Sudiksha was on vacation with her college friends, which we already know. The video shows her, Ribe, and a group of friends, okay, walking towards the beach or towards the ocean after a night out at around 4 a.m. At around close to 6, so 5:55 a.m., the others went back to their rooms, leaving Ribe and Konanki on the beach. Oh, and this is getting interesting. According to Ribe, the pair went for a swim, but were caught by a large wave. See, what the flim flarm? Say that again, mother lover. Don't worry, we gonna rewind. We gonna rewind. So he says they went for a swim, but were caught by a large wave. Ribe says he clambered back to the shore and then fell asleep. Konanki was never seen again. Tell me this isn't fishy. Tell me this man ain't lying. And I'll tell you something else. This man is freaking lying. So they got caught up by a huge wave. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to receipts here really quick. Let's go all the way back to where he talked before. Okay. So, and we're going back to that article. Hold on. I promise you we will. Okay, she was last seen 4 a.m. walking on that beach. It's unclear who the young man is, which now we know his name is Ribe or Rib. I don't know. Ribe, all right? But police said he was in the water at the same beach, and they're questioning him in an attempt to corroborate his version of events, okay? They said that the local news reported that a man who was also a guest at the same resort was the last person to see her live and reportedly told police several different versions of what happened. The man reportedly said he entered the water with Konanki, but the rough surf made him sick, so he went back to shore. Rough surf made him sick, but he crawled or went back into shore and passed out. Let's go back over here. He says he got caught by a large wave. So then he says he clambered back to shore and then fell asleep. Rough seas, large wave. She was never seen or heard from again. Her body has not been found, but Dominican police remain convinced she succumbed to water. So they think that she was in the water, she got hit by this wave, It was so intense, it took her out, and it made him so sick that he crawled back over to the beach and passed out. That must have been one hell of a wave. That must have been one hell of a wave, y'all. To the point where he clambered back to shore and then fell asleep. The wave was so big that it knocked him out to make him go to sleep. Let me see this. Okay, hold on. Now, here it is. If this report is true, okay, a laugh a day. Thank you so much for the comment. And we going to talk about all possibilities. To me, I side-eye the situation, but then at the same time, you know, I can only imagine being in his shoes. Think about this for a second. Imagine being in his shoes and him actually being truthful, him actually telling the truth. Think about that for a second. We got to put that on the table too. He could very well have been in the water. I'm side-eyeing the hell out of this mother lover. I'm just going to keep it a bean. I'm sorry. This is something weird about this, in my personal opinion. But what are the chances? What are the chances that they were both very, very drunk? He's in the water with her. They do get hit with a wave. He crawls back because maybe he was fighting for his life to not succumb to water, to not die. Crawls back into the uses all of his energy, expends all this energy to get back to shore, gets to shore, and passes out. It's possible. Just seems very eerie. Seems a bit odd. Especially when you know for a fact you got another person standing right next to you in the ocean. You're not turning around and going, wait. You know what I mean? Hey, you okay? Nothing? He is so exhausted from fighting for his life from this hit by this wave or these rough waters that he just straight up passes out. I don't know, guys. I don't know. And the fact that he keeps changing his story, that seems a little bit weird. But a laugh a day. She says he was drunk. Waves were noted to be dangerous at that time. They both went into rough water, drunk, and one came out. I think she lost her life in the water. I mean, it's possible. But for me, no. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. But again, anything, repeat this one more time. Anything is possible. We got more information about this guy, which we are going to get to in just a minute. Okay. So her body has not been found. Her family are less certain. Okay. They don't believe that she succumbed to water. Okay. They are calling for an investigation into human teeing. I don't blame them. A private investigator who probed the unaliving of Natalie Holloway in 2005 disappearance disagrees with the police theory that Konanki succumbed to water. Here's a photo of them walking down. It looks like his arms around her waist, doesn't it? Kind of. He is really close to her. I'm just saying. You with somebody, you're having a good time, like they're right there. It looks like he's got his arm around her a little bit, but anything is possible here, guys. Anything. Okay. Moving on. I don't think that she surpassed in the ocean. This is what a private investigator said to Fox News. I totally believe that somebody knows something where she is, or somebody took her away, or somebody's holding her somewhere. They also said if she had gone into the water, she would have washed up somewhere with a tide the way it comes into the island. I agree with that 100%. She would have turned up somewhere by now. It's been, what has it been, 5 now, going into the 5th day already They would have been found her by now. Her remains would have showed up. They would have been able to recover her body. And it's not like it was like some messed up scene from the opening of Jaws or something like that, okay? From the opening of the movie Jaws, right? Like, oh, it's just a nice swim. It's no big deal. And then, Jaws just comes in and just takes the swimmer, right? No, something weird happened here. She would have turned up. She definitely would have turned up. The PI previously helped the disappearance of the 18-year-old Alabama high school graduate Natalie Holloway, who vanished on the Caribbean island of Aruba in 2005. Her body was never found, and she was declared unalive in 2012. In 2023, Dutch tourist, yep, we remember this mother lover, Jordan Vandersloot, admitted that he unalived her for rejecting his advantages. So could it be his advances? I'm sorry. So could it be that this is the same situation all freaking over again? But like I said, it just doesn't make any sense, because from what I understand, what I gather, this guy's an athlete as well. Now, I understand. Doesn't matter if you are the best athlete on the planet, even the best swimmer in the world. You can get hit with water unbeknownst to you, especially if you're drunk, and have a hard time fighting that tide. I can see those kind of things happening, but at the same time, you just going in over to the water or over to the shore and just passing out, and that's it. You're not going, Konanki, where are you? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, but Holloway's body was never found. Okay, Konanki, her family has also expressed doubt that she succumbed to water and have pleaded with the authorities to look into more sinister theories. And what's interesting as well is that local PD in the area is just like, yep, she drowned. Moving on. And it's like, what? So then where's her remains? Where did she go? Real talk. If she lost her life in the ocean, her body would have shown up somewhere. Even while they're out there touring and doing their searches, she would have been found out there. But she's nowhere to be found. What's up with that? What's up with that? It's 4 days, and if she was in the water, she would have likely been strewn to shore. This is what her father said. Okay? So something ain't right here, guys. And here's some footage. Like, see, this is the footage of him showing, like, walking back from the beach without her. Interesting, though. Hold on. Let me see some. Here's the resort. But see, if this whole thing happened right around this area, if you could see my mouse, if this happened in this area, where's the surveillance cameras? Where's any of that stuff? They went out down to the beach, down by the beach. So if you tell me that they're in front of their resort, they didn't see nothing, no surveillance video at all. What if something bad happens? What if somebody hurts themselves and they want to sue the actual resort, but the resort doesn't have any footage to exonerate themselves of any wrongdoing or negligence or anything of that sort? Like I said, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. The search is ongoing. But I'm telling you right now, look, boom. I'm just saying, y'all, something ain't right here. No footage of them at the actual beach. Make that make sense. No footage of them actually at the mother-loving beach. Take a look at this. Oops. By the way, his arm around her the entire time they're walking down there. This guy's arm is around this woman's waist the entire time they're walking down, and they're clearly very drunk. And yes, he is still drinking as they're walking down there. But you can tell they're very drunk. They're all drunk. Understandably, it's spring break. Okay? What do you expect? But at the same time, they are drunk. Okay? And they are definitely giving the vibes of possibly hooking up in a little bit. His arms right around her waist the entire freaking time as they're walking down. Look. And it looks like there's more footage, so we're going to look at the rest. But look at that. She there with her girlfriends, arm around his waist. Him in his muscle shirt. He's got one of those stringer muscle shirts on. Yeah, tell me you're an athlete without telling me you're an athlete. Muscle ups. You know what I mean? Burpees. Let's continue. And then the other question is, I can't do that, but it's in slow-mo. Who's this dude? Who's this dude too? So she's there with her girlfriends. You can see them all there. Who's this dude though? And is this guy just all by himself? He forgot to put on some sunscreen, but is he there all by himself? Or is this one of his boys here? The redhead. I'm just asking for a friend because this does not make any sense. Then they leave. Something ain't right here, y'all. No footage of the beach. No footage of the beach. Nah, homie. No footage of the doggone beach. I'm gonna mute this for now. But you can see it with your own two peepers. Something ain't right. See? Arm around each other. Yeah, they're wasted. Damn. That's terrible. The other thing is too, I'm wondering if her friends, because the two girls that are trailing behind them, I'm wondering if they took any video, you know what I mean? If they did any Snapchats or, any video on Instagram or anything, because I'd love to see that footage too, just to see what they're talking about. But you could clearly see that these two, at least the two, are drunk. And it's interesting because the two friends, her two girlfriends, it's just, they bouncing. But they seem pretty sober, don't they? Man, this is crazy. They seem pretty sober. They don't outspoken. They don't seem drunk at all. Holding hands, but that's somebody else, I think. Is that somebody else? Yeah, that's the redhead and the other friend. So they all leave. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because this clearly is not. It's just them walking down but they're holding hand in hand. So I'm assuming that they're a couple, but like I said, they haven't really said much about the friends. That is some crazy stuff, y'all. But we're seeing that footage for the very first time, at least for me. But you can see this is footage that has nothing, let me repeat, nothing to do with what happened on the beach. So where is the footage from the beach? I want to see what the hell's going on down by the beach. Boy, that's what I want to know. Because something ain't right here. Something ain't right. But we got more information about this guy here. Here is Ribe. Just so you know, apparently he is a wrestling star. That does not help him at all. Hulking wrestling star revealed as last man to see missing Dominican Republic spring breaker alive. Wrestling star. Truly outrageous. Hold on, guys. I mean, wrestling star could mean something, though. It could mean something. I don't know. It could mean nothing as well. It can mean nothing and it can mean everything all at the same damn time. Okay. But real quick. All right. Caribbean gal. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. There was a man that went missing 10 years ago from the same yoga retreat that Taylor Casey went into in the Bahamas. Yes. Thanks for the live. Of course. Yes, exactly. Same situation. Guy went out there, never was seen or heard from ever again as well. Very interesting. And then that yoga retreat facility was trying to cover all this stuff up, at least on Taylor, which is weird. Mimi, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Audrey, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. But again, this is weird. Okay. So again, there's a possibility. I mean, hey, wrestling star, I don't know. Yes, that can show potential of him being aggressive, but it could also mean nothing. You know what I mean? But mystery hunk, as they're calling him. Interesting. Seen with his arm draped around missing spring breaker Sudiksha Konanki on the morning she vanished has been named by police sources as American. He's an American by the name of Joshua Stephen Ribe. Okay? With two eyes, it looks like. Interesting. So Ribe. So a source close to the investigation told Daily Mail that the article I'm reading here that Ribe, 24, a powerfully built former high school wrestler, was being quote unquote cooperative. He is still in Punta Cana, but is not currently considered as a suspect, as he should be. That's what I think. He should be a suspect. Period. Point blank. Sorry, not sorry. He is the last person to see this person alive. He is a suspect. It is like, I think it's very, very sloppy for them to automatically go, oh yeah, she drowned. Moving on. No. He's the last person to see her live. And if the family's sitting there going, I still feel like something ain't right, he is still a suspect and he should be treated as such, especially if they're saying that he kept changing his narrative and he kept changing his story. That's not good either. Okay? That's never good. Dominican authorities are currently in the possession of his passport. However, there is nothing to stop him lawfully retrieving it and flying back to the U.S. it's believed the investigators also have the American's phone, but are waiting for legal authorization to examine the device. And absolutely, they should get the legals, get through his phone, and that phone could say something. That phone could be like, "Oh my God, you know what I mean?" He could be completely confessing to something, or he could completely be oblivious. That's a possibility too. He could be completely oblivious to all of this. That is possible. Although I still, you know what I mean? I still feel meh about it. You feel me? Something about it just does not feel right. Okay. Yeah. High school wrestler, and he's 24 years old. Yeah. High school was a while ago. At 24, high school wrestler is a while ago. And he clearly looks like he hasn't been up to, keeping up to date with his drills. Okay. But I truly think that something happened here, and there needs to be some sort of clarification on what happened. Because you never know. He may have made some advances towards her. She didn't want it, and then things went bad. That's possible. He could have hooked somebody else up with somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Could have hooked up a situation where people met in one place at one time and then took her. That's possible as well. But again, the fact that they're sitting there going, "Oh, yeah, this was just bad things happen to bad things happen to good people. Moving on," is I feel a bit lackluster. It to me, for them not to do their due diligence and fully investigate and find out what really happened here. When you just say, "Oh, that's what happened," and just that's your full on discovery without proof. I think otherwise. Okay. Floating Lotus, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate the love and the super sticker. Thank you so much. Again, this guy should still be a suspect no matter what. But moving on. High school wrestler, 24 years old. Just want to make that abundantly clear. And I also want to say, just because he's a high school wrestler does not mean that he has an aggressive bone in his body on females. I'm just saying that out loud too, just so you guys know. But moving on. So they were striding towards the beach together around 4 a.m. on March 6th. They were part of a larger group of her friends. At 5:55 a.m., the others went back to their rooms, leaving Ribe and Sudiksha on the beach. According to Ribe, the pair went for a swim, but were caught by a large wave. Ribe says he clambered back to the shore and then fell asleep. Now, I will say this. Visibly in the video, you can tell they're hammered. Okay? They're hammered. Some people say, what was it? Sloshed. Isn't that a term? I feel like I heard that somewhere. Okay? But yeah, just completely wrecked. You can see it. All right? So I can see getting hit by a wave could kind of rock your world, but does it make you suddenly pass out? I don't know. Okay? Konanki was never seen again. Her body has yet to be found. They believe that she passed. Why is this man holding a mouse in his hand? I do not know, but this is the photo that they have of him. Okay? High school wrestler holding a mouse. Former high school wrestling star holding a mouse. Moving on, there he is. He was seen talking to law enforcement at the beach. Still talking to law enforcement at the beach. But again, they're saying he keeps changing his story. So I don't know. And I also will say this too, that there is a possibility of someone recalling something later on. That is possible. Okay? That is possible. Someone, especially when you've had a lot to drink and maybe you'd been drinking all day and night, right? I mean, they're on spring break. So it's safe to say that they are drinking all day and night. At least him. I don't know about Konanki, but she clearly was drunk as well, at least in the video. Her friends didn't seem to be drunk. They seemed pretty decent. Maybe they got a little buzz on, but they're not wasted like what we're seeing. Homeboy was wasted. You could tell he was drunk, right? So there is a possibility that some things that he's not going to remember because he was drunk. But then flashes of things will suddenly spark in his brain. Oh, I remember that part. I remember when we went here. I remember here. I remember. And that's possible too. But the narrative is not going to change. The narrative is going to stay the same. Yeah, we went here and this is what happened, but here's an added piece of information. I can see that happening. But for him to be like, yeah, I was hit by a wave and I went to the shore and passed out. Aren't you concerned about the friend that you were with? Aren't you worried about Konanki? Like, that just seems weird. Okay? It just seems weird. So the fact that they're now saying, oh, yeah, he's a former high school wrestling star. I don't know. That could mean something. That could mean nothing. Okay, guys? That could mean something. That could mean absolutely nothing at the same doggone time. Okay? But still, I got this video from Ashley Banfield. I want to share this one with y'all too. Talking about this guy. He's a U.S. citizen, which is now something that we've just learned. So they should be giving me even more damns about this situation. This wasn't just some local guy. Okay? It wasn't like some damn local, doing some crimes. Potentially doing some crimes. No. This is an American citizen doing this while on spring break himself, I'm assuming, running into another spring breaker, and then all hell breaks loose. Let's take a listen to this.
Police told them, he said they went into the water for a swim. He got out feeling sick and fell asleep on a lounge chair. Police said he also said a wave may have swept Sudiksha away, or that maybe she was gone and left while he was passed out on the chair. Police also said he remembered seeing her wading in the knee-high surf towards her clothes. But they say for now he is not a suspect. It's been 4 days, though, and so far all that's turned up has been Sudiksha's sarong on a lounge chair. Joined now by Sheriff Mike Chapman from Loudoun County in Virginia, where Sudiksha's family lives. Sheriff, thank you so much for being...
He's been all up in these shows. Real talk, but it is appreciated. Real talk, it is appreciated.
With me. Is there any update that you have on this case?
We're just working very closely with our authorities down there. We're, our counterparts, not only from Dominican Republic, but at the U.S. Embassy down there, FBI, HSI, DEA. We want to make sure that we're getting all the information that we can, working very closely with the Dominican authorities here. I know they've done an exhaustive search here. We're still working through the witnesses here. I don't have any direct communication with the witnesses myself or any firsthand knowledge other than what we're hearing from the investigative standpoint and what's going on with these. And there is some concern, obviously, with some of the inconsistencies in the stories, and it is starting to really bother.
Hold on. She's going, oh, yeah, hold on. I was waiting for you to say something like that. Thank you. Let me just say this, too. And I was trying to say that earlier, but she, S-Dubs has a point. Maybe he didn't know how to swim so good. That's true. That's very true. Maybe he didn't know how to swim at all. Maybe he wasn't a strong swimmer. Just because he's an athlete, like I was saying earlier, just because he's an athlete, just because he's a high school wrestling star, doesn't mean that he can swim. So if he gets hit by some wave and he's drunk as hell and the wave hits him, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to be dog pedaling for his life. Real talk. He's not going to know what to do with himself. So yeah, I can see a lot of energy exerting from that, right? From not swimming, from not being a strong swimmer. That's possible. But at the same time, we'll see what happens. But he may not be a good swimmer. That's possible. And then he's also wasted. So, yeah, he probably, nah, not the greatest swimmer. But is he automatically going, oh, I'm alive, clunk onto a lounge, a lounge chair, okay, or a lawn chair, whatever the hell you want to call it, and passing out? Really? He's not going over to check on her to see if she's okay, whatever. But at the same time, never underestimate the power of drunk, everybody. Never underestimate the power of drunk. So he may not have been able to swim so good. Real talk. That may be it.
Right.
That's what I want to get to. Sometimes there's a language barrier. I'm not sure how helpful those authorities have been. So I'm going to ask you a multi-part question. Are you happy with the cooperation of the local authorities? Do you feel that the questions and answers that young man has been through with them have been turned over to you appropriately, that maybe translation is needed, you want to investigate and ask your own questions and you're not getting that? Where does that part stand?
Well, it's my understanding that that people that were with her and witnesses that were there have been interviewed several times. And I believe on the several occasions, there's been some inconsistencies with their very own stories. And that does bother me here, which really begs the question, what really happened there? And, and I do know that there was some speculation that she may have drowned. I think it's way too premature to make an assumption like that. There has been no sighting of her in any capacity here. So it's very important that we go through all this, that we do some detailed investigation. We are working closely with Dominican authorities. We do have our folks that are hand in hand with them down there. So we're trying to get the best information that we can, but we're not the lead on it. It's their country right now. And until we get something more concrete, it's really kind of, it's a little difficult for us because we're working through somebody else.
Do you know if that young man who was last with her is an American citizen? Have you had a shot at interviewing him? Have the FBI had a shot at interviewing him? Do you have the proper transcripts from the interview that the locals did with him?
I would say that he was an American citizen, and I would say that as far as the communications go and the interviews go, I believe that there's interviews that are being done hand in hand down there. However, I'm not there and I can't validate that, but that's my understanding based on the communications we've had with our counterparts down there. So it is a joint effort down there, and we are trying to get to the bottom of it. We're trying to get some consistency with the statements here. And if you give inconsistent statements, then it means that you're not telling the truth there. So what we got to do is get to the facts here and see what's going on. And it's a difficult situation. I mean, I really feel for the family here. This is a missing person out of our jurisdiction, out of Loudoun County. We treat every one of these cases very seriously, and this one extremely. It's an extraordinary case, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to get to the bottom of this, because we feel really bad for the family. It's a very, very difficult thing for the family to be going through, friends, neighbors, and everything else. So we want to try to do everything in our power to get to the bottom of it. And it's been challenging because it's good we have so many people working on it, but it's also difficult because that also creates confusion as well.
He's not wrong. Because of course there's going to be the game of telephone, which is annoying and crazy as well. Because of course there's always one person saying something, and then it goes through, or you don't know what you're authorized to say to the public, and what you're keeping under wraps, and what you're willing to put out to the public. Those things can be really, really insane as well. But I do think it's messed up, and this is when I always get nervous about overseas or foreign type of, especially when it comes to like the Caribbean and all that. I get a little nervous about those kinds of vacation locations when it comes to their law enforcement doing the investigations that they need to do. Because you got to remember, they make a lot of money off these tourists. They make a lot of money off these vacationers. The last thing they want to have happen is say that there was, let's say, potentially a unaliving that happened at the hands of one of the other residents that was in that resort. That scares people. That makes people not want to go to that resort. It's the same thing, like I said, like the Taylor Casey situation. She went over there for a yoga retreat, and then she went missing. The yoga retreat facility was doing everything they can to basically push it aside and let the program continue, let the show go on when you have somebody who's missing, right? And people are trying to get down to the nitty gritty and get down to brass tacks of what actually happened to Taylor. But it suddenly did not become a focus or a main concern of the people who ran that resort and that yoga retreat. They were too busy trying to make money. And this is the same situation when it comes to these kinds of location resorts as well. Okay, these tropical places, I get nervous about it because it's like, oh, no, she just succumbed to water. It's all good. It is what it is. Let's move on. And it's like, no. So then where did her body go? You're telling me it just swept out the sea? That's it? And she's just gone? No, her body would have washed up on shore. Somewhere on this island, on this shore, she would have washed up. So make the math happen. Make that math make sense then. Make the math. Because again, we're not seeing it otherwise. And I think it's wrong for this young woman who was out there just having a good time with her friends to lose her life in the way that she did. Yeah, I'm side-eyeing the guy. Hell yeah, I'm side-eyeing that dude, Ribe. Ribe has a lot of explaining to do because it doesn't make any sense. Now, I get it that he's very, very drunk. And yes, I've seen wild things happen with drunk people. I think we've all seen something. If you lived on this planet long enough, you've seen some drunk people do some drunk things, and you're just like, why did you do that? And I get it. Now, I understand someone being blackout drunk too. That's possible too. But at the same time, something about this just isn't mathing right. If she was washed away, she would have washed back up on the shore. If he was fighting for his life because he got hit by a hardcore wave, okay, that's possible. And both of them got hit by it. But why didn't he go out of his way trying to find her? Sure, he's blackout drunk. Sure, that's possible that he just didn't have the energy. Sure, he could be a crappy swimmer. That's possible too. Not everybody's an Olympic swimmer. Not everybody's Michael Phelps. I get that piece. But there's certain pieces here that just aren't mathing. It just doesn't make any sense. And if they had some surveillance footage from outside showing the beach, everything that we're speculating here would have been answered in 2 seconds. But they don't have anything like that thus far that we know of. And that's sad. Unless they do have footage and something sinister did happen on that beach, but they're worried about losing patrons for the resort. So they're going to stuff that to the side and let people not see that footage because they don't want that narrative out there saying that a young woman may have been unalived on the beach right there. Because then that makes people not want to go and be patrons to their resort. So again, this is some crazy stuff, guys. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, like I'm seeing Star Baby. It's just like you're just gone, and that's it. So either this dude, which by the way would make you wonder, why is he there? Why is he on vacation at this particular time, at this particular place? Hopefully his phone will explain some things, right? And expose some more things, but we'll see what happens here. But right now, Noah, I hope you're right with the U.S. stepping in. I hope you're right. I hope they give a damn. I really do. But the math ain't mathing here, guys. The math just ain't mathing. But anyway, guys, that is the show. Trust me, if there's more information, we'll be talking about it for sure. Okay? Because I want clarification. I want transparency. I want transportation. I want transparency. And I want truth. I want justice for her, if justice needs to be had. Okay? Sudiksha should be alive and home right now, or at least traveling back home with her family, to her family, or back to school right now. Okay? So something is not right, and we'll talk about it. If there's new developments, we will talk about it for sure. So do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you're watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, please hit that follow button, please, and thank you. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel. subscribe. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Crush that subscription over there. That'd be great. Hit that notification bell and set it all so you know whenever I go live or whenever I upload. All right? Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And check out PascalMerch.com. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I went a little bit longer than I expected, but it is what it is. We had to talk about it, and I wanted to bring awareness to all y'all. So anyway, if you guys know anything, please speak up. Let the local authorities know, and may she be found as quickly as possible. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.